Welcome to my review of Star Wars The Rise of the Skywalker. Here's the good news. It's over. um, Maybe they should have named this The Adoption of the Skywalker. The name of this series usually doesn't bother me. It's really not a big deal. But The Rise of the Skywalker, after I saw the movie, I'm just like, really? Let's get into this, okay? Let's get into this movie. When it comes to this series, I love Star Wars, but I'm not a huge obsessive fan, okay? I have rewatched The New Hopes and The Empire Strike Back many times. Many times. But the rest, even Return of the Jedi, barely, I think I have seen the entire movie maybe 3 times. That's it. The prequel, once or twice, and that's it. Now, when it comes down to the prequel, my biggest problem with the prequel is not the story. It is the acting, the dialogue, the lines. That's where the prequel did not land for me, okay? But as far as the story, the arch of Darth Vader, I got that. It works for me. Now, the last 3 movies, the what did not work for me is the opposite of the prequel, because I like the acting. I enjoy the acting. The lines, for the most part, works for me. What did not work is the story. So you have the opposite problem between the prequel and the last 3 movies. And this movie have a lot of problems. I'm sure by now you have seen enough review of this movie, so I'm not gonna add anything new to it. But for me, it feels like they're trying to satisfy everyone, and the result is they satisfy few, if that makes sense. You know, to me, a lot of the complaints that I voice, as well as many other people voice in the last movie, they tried to correct that. But that didn't work for me. It may work for other people, but for me, it did not work. For me, the plot seems so convenient. There was just too many things that happened, too many conveniences that happened just to make the story move along. Like when they land on the island, on the planet, to look for the artifacts, and out of the big crowds, Billy D. Williams, Lando, easily bump into them. How convenient was that? And then, why do they need to even jumpstart that vehicle? Conveniently knowing how to do that. I mean, it's just nonsense. Just jump on it and ride, okay? It's you don't need to jumpstart anything. But the fact that they crash right where that spaceship that has been hidden, buried for decades happened to be, how convenient was that they land right there? And then when they emerge from the cave, how convenient was it that there is a spaceship, a transport nearby that has been there for who knows how long with cobweb. And conveniently, that thing started up just like that. But that whole sequence right there illustrate the problem with this movie. Is just there are things that are just cobwebbed together to make the story move along. Everything was conveniently put there, happen, exist, that just, and that did not work for me, sadly. None of that stuff worked. As far as the Jedi, the power, I think the show had jumped the shark a long time ago. I mean, especially with Baby Yoda ability to heal. This movie take it to another level. Forget about healing, bringing back the dead. Oh my God. It's just so many things. I sat there and I watched the movie and I'm like, sometimes less is better. Giving us more of this is not good. Okay? As far as the character, the acting, Daisy Ridley, fantastic. The best yet. She was so good. The emotional part of this movie, she kills it. Same thing with Kylo Ren. He did his best work here as well. The supporting character, Finn, once again, if you're gonna introduce something, if you're gonna hint something, finish it. That whole thing with Ray about I gotta tell you something, and then they carry on that bit for the second half of the movie, and then never really resolve it, as if like, what is it that he need to tell her? That he has a force, he is feeling for her. What is it? And then to end the movie really with that kiss. Why do we even need that kiss between Rey and Kylo Ren? Why? To me, there's so many little things like that where I'm just like, it would have been better to not include that. Okay, if Kylo Ren bring her back from the dead, and then they hug, and then he died, it would have been fine. Did anyone out there like the kiss, the beautiful and talented Kerry Russell? Really? This is how the movie used her? She was under the helmet the entire time in the few scenes that she was in. Barely for a few seconds, they let go of the visor so that you can see her eyes. That was it. How convenient it was that she bumped into Poe and Finn. And since when does C-3PO able to run up the steps? I thought he was a clumsy robot that walked like this. That scenes where they ran up the steps, all of them, and C-3PO was hopping up the step along with them. Oh my God. And then, of course, the spy conveniently exists on that big ship, and his reasoning to help, I just want to get rid of Kylo Ren. Really? Things that was cobbled together in this movie to move the story along was just so much nonsense for me. So to me, it's a frustrating movie to sit through because it's a spectacle, okay, as far as the special effect, the action, but there are so many little things as far as the story that I have a problem with, and that's is the problem with the entire series as far as the last three movies. The story is stupid. Something is very wrong with the story. Something is missing with the story compared to the prequel where the story was well laid out. It need work with the acting and the dialogue, but yeah, disappointed, absolutely. But like I said in the beginning, the good news, it's over. And that's my review